I am Carma Clark. I am an African American woman and a principal and operations director at Defined Design Group. Lately, I've determined it's because of the problem-solving aspect of it. It wasn't something that I knew, I guess, prior to when I was going to school, that's exactly what I loved about architecture. I think then it was more the idea of designing something that looked nice, but finally getting into the thick of it, realizing that it's a lot more complicated than just putting pretty colors together. Through the Learning Channel. So I spent a lot of my summers watching Home Time and one of the Bob Vila shows where they would, have a house project that they would go through like multiple episodes, and that really intrigued me. And kind of through, the contractor side and realizing like the other parts of the whole profession, finally decided on architecture. I would say probably just my general shyness. It wasn't something I was prepared for as far as speaking with clients or that general client interaction. So trying to find a way to relate to people and to really just put the effort forward, in order to get the job done. It took quite a bit of effort. I think the DC area is, we're a little insulated because it's so diverse, but in general, I think, being a woman of color, it's overall negatively affected. It's just created, more challenges. And I think, the times that I do speak up, I'm often, dismissed or ignored. But with my personality, I take it a little bit more sensitively than some people that would view that as an opportunity to be more defiant or more forceful. So yeah, it's really just struggling to be heard. Because we designed for everyone. There's no monolith on who gets to use the buildings that we, design. And so having multiple experiences, multiple cultures influencing the work that we do, I think is very important so that it reflects through our work. Because it lets them know that they can be that. I didn't know any African American architects when I made the decision, and I went to an HBCU and got to see a lot of my peers that were on the same journey as I was. But when I graduated school, oftentimes I was the only black professional in the office that I was in. And so it was a little discouraging, and it felt a little lonely at times. But yeah, it's to be, representative of an opportunity, that someone otherwise wouldn't know that they could have is, I think it's important. Access. when, from school, it just starts with like the cost. Architecture school is very expensive, not just with like tuition, but with, like the supplies that you need to go through studio. And then like once you get into the profession, I think it's because a lot of people, just generally speaking, obviously like some offices are different than others, but just in general, a lot of people aren't used to working with other people that don't look like them. And so you don't get the opportunities or the access to, the promotions, or just even like the projects that could get you to the next step. Yeah. I'd say, ride around your city or your town. Take a look at, the vernacular, if there's any like special or important like landmarks. Like just, take a little bit of time to kind of like, treat it as a puzzle and figure out how it works. Is there anything that you like about it, so that you can kind of develop like a thesis about, like what it is about design that motivates you. The internet is great. It's a great tool, and it's always improving. As far as just, like seeing, the different buildings or, towns that really like came together with a purpose, instead of just, like accidentally. And if you're really interested, or you're really motivated, and you want to get like some firsthand experience, reach out to your local like AIA chapter or NOMA chapter and see if you can get connected with a mentor, or just shadow an architect for a day, so you can really see like the inner workings. A lot of it's boring, but yeah, you'll be surprised as like what we actually do versus what, I guess, like media or like movies and TV like portray architects as. Go ahead and do it. Don't be discouraged if you happen to be like the only person of color in the room, and use that to your advantage. I mean, there might be something like in your experience or your history that you can pull from, that can like, really like change like a design, or just a way of thinking that other people wouldn't have considered.